Hello everyone, this is the Captain Swan podcast. We are at number 40. Oh my god. And it's been almost a year since we started. I should check the date of the first podcast. It was during the latter part of season 3A. We should check the date. I'm gonna tell you guys the date next time. I'm Serena, Savior out on Tumblr, and this is an all-girl podcast, and they're gonna introduce themselves.
I'm Lisa, and I'm You Brought Me Home.
Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm Bellamy Fraser Jones.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm To the End of the World or Time.
And that's it. This is a very exclusive podcast, and all girls. But
We have to warn something. Because Michelle, Lisa, and I have to warn something. If you like Rumple, this might not be the best podcast for you to hear. Keep that in mind.
Okay, we also have like 10 questions from you guys, so thank you for sending us questions. And as a reminder, you can send us questions going on Tumblr, on the Captain Swan podcast Tumblr. You don't need to have a Tumblr account. You can send an anonymous question, and I will read it on the podcast and answer you.
The first podcast was recorded on November 23.
Okay, we should have a calendar reminder or something. Because I'm gonna forget in 1, 2, 3. I already forgotten.
Don't worry, I already taped it down.
But speaking of anniversaries, happy birthday once upon a time, 3 years today.
Yay!
With the clapping thing, Karina.
Okay, I was just looking at the questions, but now I'm gonna look for the clapping thing. But it's gonna take a while, but I'm gonna delete all this when I edit the podcast. I don't even know. No, okay, I found them. 1 second, this sounds, clapping. I did it!
Yay!
Except this uses since I have... Okay. I did it. Okay, so what were we saying? Yeah, week of birthdays. Do you guys want to say whose birthday it is? Other than Once Upon a Time?
Lisa, that's your call.
It's my birthday on Friday. Tomorrow I will be 35.
And then?
And Sunday is my birthday, and I will be 35.
I mean, not 35. 36. Shit,
I was going to say, you'll be 36, I'll be 35.
And in 13 days from now, it will be my birthday.
Okay. I'm just trying effects. I don't know why. That was a laugh. Okay, so I think we should start with the question because we have a lot of them, and we can start with Stephanie's question, who is not here today because she's sick, which is what she gets for going off and joining the Swan Queen shippers last week. So remember, shipping Captain Swan keeps you healthy. Anyway, Stephanie says, I send a potential parallel. The box with hat can only be opened by those who have faced their inner darkness and won. And Rumple spent a lot of the episode taunting Hook with his rival's inner darkness. Will Killian have to open the hat at some point, possibly to save a sucked-in Emma? What do you think of this potential parallel?
I do think Emma's going to get sucked into the hat at some point.
Probably.
I mean, seriously. I mean, Rumple's trying to charge the thing up, and Emma's the savior, and her power comes from true love, and true love is the most powerful magic. So you'd think she'd charge that thing right up.
Yeah, I think Rumple's endgame is to suck in both Emma and Elsa, and possibly the Snow Queen.
And Regina. I
And
mean,
we
he's
can
just
see
wants
I
Regina
magic
in the
people.
hat. Regina can stay in the hat.
Yeah,
If he was
but
to do that, though, I mean, he'd run the risk of alienating Henry and losing his family. Because I mean, and Belle,
Seriously.
if he,
But he doesn't
Do
care.
you think he gives a shit?
I think he gives a shit.
it does.
Dude, if he gave any shits about what Belle thought, he wouldn't be doing this in the first place. If he gave any shits about the promise he made on his son's grave, he wouldn't be doing this. But he gives 0 fucks because he's an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about how Harry is becoming as bad as his father and grandfather? Like, he's becoming the worst, and it's definitely half genetic and half Regina's parenting. I don't know which one to
Come
blame.
on. I was like, really? When he was like, no. But I was like, wait, what? So,
Well, no, when he said to Regina, you know, we'll find who wrote the book and make him give you a happy ending. I'm like, dude, what? Have you been hanging out with your mom too long?
But what about when he said to Regina, why aren't you happy that Marianne is like frozen? Like 2 weeks ago, Henry's mother, Emma, was about to get frozen, and now it's like, oh, we should be happy that Ronald's mother is frozen. Like, what? Are you
Yeah.
insane?
honestly, I miss the earlier Henry who would call his mom out on her shit.
Yes.
Like, seriously? The Henry from season 2, although he was a bit annoying, would have sent me like, whoa, 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 whoa. What
Yeah,
the
I
fuck?
mean, Regina's influence in combination with his shady DNA, it's not helping.
So the Charmy's DNA is not dominant in this case?
Well,
Because
Apparently
it's not
not.
that it's not dominant, it's that Henry is choosing not to spend time with him.
Yeah, he is spending an awful lot of time with Regina.
which is good because I can fast forward through their scenes, but
Okay,
bad.
I have a question. Am I the only one who's really bored with this Find the Writer storyline? Like, every time they flip to it, I'm just like, why do I care?
Like,
Because
honestly,
it
I want
makes
to
no
know
sense.
who wrote it. Like, I'm interested in the storyline itself, but the scenes are boring.
Yes, that's
But
what it
the
is.
whole
Like, I want to
thing
know who
is
wrote the book, but I'm bored by their search.
Because most of the scenes are just Regina being, why me? Why me? Why me?
But it's like I would be interested if the storyline made any sense, but it doesn't because like the whole premise of the storyline is that the book is giving people happy endings, which is not true. The book originally, and I think even right now, ended with Regina getting a happy ending and with the curse.
Yeah.
So nobody got his happy ending in the book. The Charmings were separated. They got cursed. They lost their daughter, and Regina won. So what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
why are they pretending that like that the author of the book has power to do anything? It doesn't. It just
I think
records
you'll
events.
find out that the author of the book doesn't actually have power.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. That like Regina and Harry find the author, and it's like, are you two like stupid? How are you even alive? Like that makes no sense. Go read a book. Go, I don't know. This is
maybe
just
if
stupid.
the writer is Yensid, maybe he'll like give Regina like a major sass off and be like, seriously, no,
Look
I
at her
have no power.
choices.
You know
Look at
what
her life.
concerns me more than anything is Henry very quickly went from let's try to convince him to, you know, fix this to no, we're gonna make him change it. And I'm like, when the hell did you become your mother? That's scary.
About 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's like, and going back to the whole, and he seems to be blaming Emma, and it's like, Dude!
Dude, what was, speaking of Emma and Henry, what was with that
No!
I'm not okay with this thing when she was
No,
like,
he's
I want you to be happy. I'm like, what?
he's
Spending time
okay
with
with it.
him.
He's just he wants her to be happy, and you have to remember, for in his mind, he only lost his father a very short while ago, so he's still dealing with that. He's dealing with a second set of memories that he's trying to reconcile. He's dealing with the fact that his mother, his other mother, is heartbroken, and he's trying to help her. You know, he wants his mother to be happy, but he also knows that he likes Hook, but he doesn't know Hook that well. So,
Well,
he's
it was
trying to-
poorly. I think it was poorly phrased.
I think they were just trying to be funny, like, oh no, I'm not okay with this because no man is good enough for you, but I'm just going with it because I want you to be happy. Because if you think about it, it makes no sense. First of all, he knows Hook as well as he knew his father, but whatever. I don't care. And he was trying to creepily hook Emma up with both Neil and Monkey Boy. And anyway, yeah, it just makes no sense. Like, you're not okay, but you think this will make Emma happy, so why are you not okay with her being happy? Like, I don't know, they were just trying to make a joke, and we are just gonna stop trying to overanalyze their writing because 50% of the time it makes no sense.
Well, and you also have to think he's 12, so he's not really like master of romance or whatever. You know, he's trying to be there for his mother, but at the same time, he knows she's been burned. And remember, this Henry is significantly different than the Henry that was there before Regina destroyed the Dark Curse. And there's a big reason why. Beforehand, yes, Henry knew that Neil hurt his mother, but he didn't know all the details. During the 1 year, the year that they were in New York with those false memories that he had, she told him everything. So he knows how badly she was hurt and how badly she was betrayed and had her heart broken and all of that stuff. So he's probably a little bit more wary of men that come into her life. He wants her to be happy, but he's also kind of protective. He doesn't want her to get burned, and he knows.
Yeah, but he didn't do that with Welsh, though.
Yeah, he knows that Hook went and found them in New York. He knows about the book.
Why he's not in Neverland and dead at the hands of his great grandpa.
Grandpa.
Is how they got
know.
to Neverland.
I know. Like I said, you can probably chalk that one up to writing.
But it's all for adultery between Regina and Robin. That is approves of. Like, whatever, they don't even think. This is the same problem I was talking about this last week. They don't even think of Harry as a character. They don't think, oh, this makes sense.
For Regina.
Exactly, yeah, it's a prop for Regina, and it's not his own character.
Okay, this is going to be a Rumple haterade, but come on, I felt actually really bad for Rumple, the fact that Henry's using Neil's debt against him. Like, wait, that was low.
That's what I'm saying. It's obvious that Regina is having some sort of influence on him because he would not normally do things like this. And yet, he's acting, manipulative, and he's literally lying to people's faces. And now he's saying that he wants to force somebody to rewrite people's history. It's like, where did Henry go? Because I don't know who you are.
Actually, I think Harry has kind of always been manipulative and a liar, but he used to do it to give to help break the curse in season 1, so that kind of made it okay in the audience eyes. But it's always been like this. It's just the problem now. He does it for not a good reason.
Yeah,
and it's become delusional. But
apparently.
Like, where's the kid that actually knew his mom was the evil queen? Because now he looks like, oh, my mom's a victim. No, she's not.
And that's my thing about the book. I'm like, Regina's like, well, I'm a villain in the book. I'm like, that's because you were. The events that are depicted in that book, you are a villain. That's what you were. You're not now, and the book has no control over what your life is now, dumbass.
This is where Regina keeps getting it wrong. She thinks that her story is a result of what has been written in that book. I'm like, no, bitch. Listen, that book is written based off of actions that you took, choices you made. The book is merely a history of those actions. It's just whatever happened, someone saw it, wrote it down. That's it. If you want to go back and change things, you'd have to go back in time and prevent yourself from making all those mistakes and making all those choices.
But the
But she
problem
doesn't
is, if she
regret
does
them.
that, then she doesn't have Henry.
Exactly.
She doesn't regret them.
And
Yeah, and that's why
if she does that,
that's what I
she'd
was-
be the biggest hypocrite in the entire show. Not that she's not already the biggest hypocrite in the entire show, but she'd be even more of a hypocrite.
But see, that's what I was hoping for with this whole Marion being alive business, that this would force Regina to confront all those bad choices she made that led her to this point. But instead, she's just messing around with trying to figure out who wrote the book. And I'm like, really?
And her problem is not that she was a villain. The problem is that the book wrote that she was a villain. She doesn't want to change what she did. She's okay with what she did. She's not okay with people calling her a villain for it. It's like in that episode of season 2, the evil queen, when she was like, "Why are these people calling me evil?" And Rumple was like, "Because you just murdered a village. Like whatever. Wake up."
See, this
And the
this
whole,
is the
you
this is
was always the queen. You're the one that added evil to my name.
see this
No,
is the
but-
major this is the difference between Regina and Rumple and Hook. Regina and Rumple refuse to accept that if you're happy, that the happy ending that you want is yours to take. You're in charge of it. No one owns it but you. If you
And
want it,
even then,
you have to make it happen.
a lot more.
I
You
don't
can't
see.
depend on some outside force. You can't depend on Henry. You can't depend on Belle. You can't depend on magic. You have to take it yourself. That's what makes Hook different, because he owned it. He took it, and he made
He
that change
regrets.
himself.
That's the biggest part of the change between the three of them. Hook regrets everything. He regretted sticking the hook inside of Rumple again. Like, he actually like, I'm sorry. Like, dude, have you ever seen everyone like? Here is him attacking his worst enemy, and he's apologizing for it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a related question. Feathers and Hooks wants to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to put Rumple in his place?
Google.
Is
5
a
million. 5 million.
Google is the version of the
Infinity?
yeah. Actually, Google is the infinity number times infinity. So Google.
I mean, I hate to see Belle get her heart broken, but
I don't care.
She hitched her horse to that cart, man.
the imp needs to go in the hat.
Okay, here's the
For
thing.
what?
If this, and I said this during the episode, during my live blog of the episode, if this show ends any other way than Rumple losing his powers completely and needing to figure out what his happy ending is without them, then the show fucked up.
Hmm.
I still think that we're gonna get a final battle between Emma and Gold.
I think we are too.
Especially if they keep true to what Adam and Eddie said, that she's going to fight for her relationship. She's going to stand by his
Well, no, I'm
side.
talking about like at the end of the show,
Yeah,
kind
but
of.
at the very, very,
But-
very end, this show's gonna, because he's the worst. Like, Regina can spit out all she wants, but she's not the worst of them.
No.
Rumple.
Regina has used her magic for good, and she can. She just has to choose, not to.
Do
I
it.
mean, Regina doesn't need to have her magic taken away from her.
She just
But
needs to choose to use it for good instead of evil. But
Rumple has shown
Rumple
time and again that he just can't do that. That the
he
moment
doesn't
he's
care.
tempted, he falls off the wagon like spectacularly.
I
You
mean,
know what though?
And also, Rumple's magic is the darkest of dark magic. Emma's magic is the purest of light magic.
Yep.
You know what though?
The forces, they're Voldemort and Harry Potter.
After what happened in this episode, I have tried and I have tried and I have tried to tolerate Belle's indifference, but once the shit hits the fan and she finds out what he did, if she sweeps this shit under the rug and doesn't do something, I'm done. I'm done.
If she does not rip him several new ones and leave his scaly ass, I'm gonna be super pissed.
I'm so done. If she likes, oh, it's okay, you're the victim. You know what, Belle?
No,
I love you, but I'm done. I'm walking
like,
away.
dude, he enslaved Killian. Slave.
Yep.
I
And
mean,
and he enslaved Belle, so Belle knows what that's like. So come on, bitch.
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, no.
Like, dude, even some friends who are Rumble shippers are like, no, man. I really want his ass to get hit.
I feel so bad for the Rumble shippers, man.
I feel like really, really bad for them because they thought they were going to get on a good road with the whole
Wasn't there did I hallucinate that there was supposed to be a scene with Belle and Rumple at the docks in this episode from the spoilers
No,
pictures?
yeah, we got a spoiler about that. They cut it. They
Okay,
keep cutting Regina and Rumple scenes with, I find it kind of hilarious.
well, I think
Anyway,
they're figuring out
because
that
I
Regina
mean,
and Rumple are not real important to the storyline. I mean, Emma is, so all the Emma stuff has to stay.
And hello, the ratings have said that. Just saying.
I don't miss Regina and Rumple, to be quite honest with you.
Because
Most
Regina-
definitely. I'm just tired of hearing people making posts about, oh, Killian was selfish or wanting his hand back, so he got what was coming to him and all this bullshit.
God.
I'm like,
Okay.
hold up.
Here's the thing. Was he motivated partially by selfishness, that the desire to, I mean, Emma didn't ask him to get his hand back. She's never made any indication that she needs him to have his hand back.
He didn't even know that she had his hand back.
So was it, selfish and arrogant for him to think that going to the Dark One was a good idea? Sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The punishment far outweighs the transgression in this particular case, and that is what I am upset about.
Exactly,
Honestly,
because
I read a post about how they were happy that somebody finally stuck it to Killian. I'm like, what? I mean, what? Did you watch the episode?
after he went to the Apprentice's house and did what was asked of him, Rumple could have ended it there, and he could have walked away.
Because he's a dick.
Instead, he goes and screws with that tape, making it look like God only knows what he made it look like. He probably made it look like Killian
murdered him.
Although that would make no sense to Emma, because why he gonna walk into some stranger's house and murder him for no apparent reason?
And
Rumple's a crazy person.
I don't know.
I don't care.
And here's the thing I thought of the other day.
If you really deleted the tape.
I mean, I don't care.
This is what I'm saying. I think Rumple screwed up when he showed Killian that he could mess with the tape, because remember, he messed with the tape on which he murdered Selena too. So now there's two tapes that have been magically altered, and Rumple's in both. Was in both of them. And who's to say Emma's magic can't undo what he did and get the tape back? And now Killian knows he can mess with tapes. I mean, seriously.
And honestly,
Dude,
that's what I was
showing
that during the post-life blog, that the Selena thing was gonna come back, because now Killian knows he can manipulate tapes.
Yep.
But what Rumple was okay. He did a lot of shrewd shit. Yes, the the Dark One lies, the Dark One tricks, but the Dark One was stupid in this episode because he's severely underestimating Emma's feelings for Killian Jones. He thinks that as soon as she sees that tape, oh, it's done, it's over, you've lost your girlfriend. No, son. She trusts him implicitly. And despite his background and his reputation, she knows that he's not just going to walk into some stranger's house and kill a guy for no reason.
And
here's the other thing. Rumple is also arrogant as shit. Because he's got the hat now, and he thinks he's, like, this close to being free of the dagger and all this other bullshit, and he's getting reckless. And that is why it's going to come back to bite him in the ass. And I will laugh at him.
Very much.
Squeal and cheer and whatever else. Because he deserves whatever is coming to him.
And worse.
And for all those people out there whose ears apparently don't want to listen to dialogue, Killian did not say that he was going to crush Belle's heart because he cannot physically do that. He's not a magical being. He said he was going to crush her marriage.
He was going to crush her heart. He said he didn't say the words crush her heart, but her heart is Rumple.
Exactly.
Metaphoric.
And the trust that Belle has in him. I mean, the moment Belle finds out Rumple's secret, her trust in him will be shattered, as it should be, because he's done nothing but lie to her.
And it won't be just because, like, the dagger is bad enough. But the fact that he used the fake dagger is bad enough. Like, that he made her use the fake dagger is bad enough. But the whole Killian?
For any of these people that believe that Killian would kill Belle just to get back at Rumple, okay. When he had the opportunity to kill Belle the first time in season 2, when he was completely at his lowest point, he didn't even do that. Trust me, he's not going to kill Belle. It's not who he is. But I can guarantee you that Rumple would kill Emma.
Oh, yeah.
Or try to.
Or at the very least, suck her in the hat.
So don't give me that shit about, oh, he's going to go after Belle. No, he's not. No.
Wait. I just thought of something. What if the reason we're getting the longest episode is because Emma gets stuck in the hat?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean...
No, I think that smells more like a mid-season cliffhanger to me, May.
True? But I just thought of it, like, wait. Or maybe Elsa and Anna gets full, or Elsa just gets sucked in the hat. Something big's gonna happen in episode 8, I just know it.
Oh dear.
And you see the whole, that the next week after that we probably won't have an episode.
Well, yeah, because in the American Music Awards or something.
And you know who wrote the week after that?
Jane Espenson, which means we're all going to die.
So we have 2 weeks today. After that, so we're gonna be dying from the 2-hour episode, and then we have 2 weeks, and we'll die again from game episode.
The only thing that makes me nervous is that everyone is hoping that he's going to tell Emma the truth sooner rather than later, so this can be resolved. But it seems like lately most of the stuff that Colin's been filming has not been with Jen; it's been with Robert.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Here again. Spoiler pictures from them in Stevenson is a mere fraction of what we actually see in the episode. It's like 5 minutes.
And come on, guys, remember.
So, do not let spoiler pictures fool you. And plus,
one thing, he has broken nothing yet. His legs are intact. So you do not have reasons to worry.
And here's the thing with telling her sooner rather than later. If this drags out longer than an episode or 2, I mean, yet not even the Zelina thing drug out more than 3 episodes.
Exactly, and if they were to do that again, it'd just be a rehash of
the whole point of this is the exact same thing they did with Regina. Regina, they put her in almost the exact same situation that caused her to cast the curse in the first place, losing her true love person. And while she had that one episode where she was like all homicidal and stuff, by the end of it she realized that wasn't the way to go, that she had come too far, and that she was going to try another way. Okay. So here we put Killian in almost the exact same situation where there's some crazy villain trying to fuck with him and Emma, and he doesn't, and he thinks about not telling her there for a minute. So maybe episode 5 he doesn't tell her, but Emma's observant and she knows him, and she's gonna notice something is wrong. And when
And
he's faced
okay,
with the
for
choice
the
of
people,
telling
for
her or not telling her to her face, he's not gonna be able to lie to her again because he knows
okay,
what happened the last time.
for the
Exactly.
naysayers who are gaining on Emma for not noticing during the date. Of course, she's not gonna notice. Number one, she's happy, and she
And
has
nervous.
no idea that anything's going to go wrong. She thinks he's nervous about punching Will, and she reassures him about it. She's like, "No, it was okay. Don't worry about it." He thinks his attitude is about that. And then afterwards, in the jail scene, it was like he was just happy to see him.
Okay,
And
we have some question related to this. For example, I can't narrate my emotion asks, do you think Hook will be honest with Emma about his deal with Rumple?
4 or
Yeah,
6. 4 or 6.
406.
probably.
My isn't as convinced as you two.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's going to be in the start of 4 or 5, but it might be in the end of 4 or 5 or 4 or 6.
Okay,
Like in the very, very end.
so Killian Lover 27 wants to know, what do you think we will see of Hook in the next episode, Breaking Glass?
Very
I don't
little.
think, yeah, sadly, I don't think we're gonna see a lot. We're going
I
to
mean,
get Regina! Yay!
they made 404 Rumple and Killian heavy on purpose, and then they're making the next one Emma heavy, so probably not a lot.
I think if this follows the pattern of the last time he got cursed, the episode after he got cursed, we got Happy Emma and brooding Killian. So maybe a
Aw.
cute scene in which she's just being all flirty and she's just being grumpy.
Yeah, I think we'll get a
Just,
scene like we got in Granny's last time.
just to make him feel more guilty about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't feel guilty enough.
And related to this, what you were saying about the next episode, Anonymous wants to know, do you guys know when we are getting the Regina and Emma episode where it shows how they feel about each other? Because I just want it out of the way already.
I'm pretty
Next
sure that's this
episode,
one coming up.
Yeah, it's 4 or
And
5.
honestly,
definitely this one. And I just want to read to you awesome article TV Line just published. I say awesome, but I mean terrible, just terrible and terrible.
oh
Okay,
god.
and yeah, you really don't know. So Lana says, what's so beautiful about Regina and Emma, especially at the end of this episode 5, is that Emma comes clean and says, I don't really have anybody else who understands this magic inside of me. You're the only one I can relate to, and I need you. And I think that's very touching for Regina to hear, and that's just bullshit.
Okay,
Oh,
Lana,
for the love of
I'm
Jesus.
sorry to Lana fans, but Lana, whenever she talks about anything Regina, I just want to punch her.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that Lana said is their journey is quite comedic. Regina just does not let her off that easy. It's one snarky remark after another, and
Oh, yay!
I will
Smart
want to
bitch.
punch Regina.
Snarky remark. It's not a snarky remark. She sits there and says, "You ruined my life." Yada yada yada. Broken record bullshit over and over and over and over and
But
over.
really? You ruined Emma's life, bitch.
Yep.
I literally cannot understand what the hell is going on. Why Emma has to like take her stupid remarks and never gets to say, "Bitch, you ruined my life. You
Mhm.
made me an orphan." Why doesn't Emma get to say this to Regina? Why does she have to take her stupid grudge against her.
I mean, even
I'm just
Snow got to say you ruined my life.
And please explain to me in what reality Emma would ever think that she could relate to Regina on a magical level, and they're saying that, oh, you're the
Especially
only other
after she
person that
knows Elsa.
understands what I'm going through.
it
What
makes
the fuck? What
it
about
makes no
Elsa?
sense.
Isn't the whole point of this Elsa thing is that Elsa is Emma's new
Exactly.
BFF who understands the magic bit? What the F?
Regina
makes no
has no
sense.
concept of what Emma is going through, because Emma doesn't understand her magic or how to control it, and she's afraid of it. And Regina is confident in what she
Regina
can.
Regina chose to pursue magic, to learn magic. She chose it.
Exactly. Elsa
Emma was born
is
with it.
far more. Elsa and Emma they're far more like closer
Honestly,
when it comes to
See,
that
see,
magic.
here's the thing. You know why they're doing this? They're doing this because Elsa's only going to be here through the Frozen arc, so Emma's going to need a quote unquote magical friend after Elsa's gone.
You realize after this episode airs, the Swan Queeners are going to be like, "Yep, that's it."
I mean, I don't
care.
honestly,
don't
you know
care
what?
about-
I think Ron is overstating it.
Yeah, I think Lana tends to do that.
And honestly,
Are
you
you
know
so-
what? Because what has Jen said about this episode? Nothing. And the only thing she said, oh yeah, they get something together. Like, seriously.
I hope this is like when Lana said that Graham and Regina's relationship in Welcome to Storybrooke was cute and flirty, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And then Jamie Dornan was like, "No, it's horrifying actually." So hopefully, just Lana having uh, no idea what she's
Honestly,
talking
remember
about.
how she thinks, oh, she thinks Emma ruined her life. And she thinks that she's a
Did,
much
did,
better. Oh, and she thinks that Emma's a bad mother. Remember how Lana said that Emma was a bad mother?
oh my
I
God!
did not
You
remember that, and now I'm just pissed off.
remember when she said that Regina has every reason to be pissed at, to want to kill Emma, to want to strangle
Yes.
Emma? It's like, oh my God, what
Yep.
the fuck are you talking about? Why are you even talking? Okay,
Like seriously, why don't people let Lana talk?
it's
As if she's not getting what she wants. Emma's life is in crisis right now. She's dealing with Elsa, Anna, Snow Queen, her magic, all those issues, a relationship with a one half who's not entirely there for his own issues. She's got everything she wants. She's got her magic. She's got her vault. She's got, okay, maybe her personal life ain't going so well right now, but I mean, it's getting there. And her son has now moved back in with her, so he's living with her. So it's not like she doesn't have the things that, oh my God, this woman is the most selfish bitch I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God.
Okay, and since we let that off our chest, we can go on to our next question. Let's do a light and fluffy question from Anonymous. You want to know, do you guys have a Disney song that would fit perfectly current Captain Swan, or any song that fits current Captain Swan?
Oh dear.
I found one that I really like. I don't know if you guys have seen, what is it called? Mortal Instruments, that movie?
Yes.
Y'all seen
Oh,
it?
I know what song you mean, and yes.
Heart by Heart.
Yes, that's like one of my top 5 favorite CS songs.
I haven't seen the film. I just happened to come across the song, and I was like, every word and lyric, I was like, oh my God, that's so Captain Swan.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, Disney, can you feel the love tonight? Yes, I can.
Well, my favorite Disney CS song is "I See the Light" from Tangled.
Well, yes, but
Okay, Another question. We have a lot today. I can't narrate my emotion. What is this narrate thing? Is it a One Direction thing? I don't know. Anyway, they want to
So
they want to know, what do you guys think about Rumple's statement that hand wasn't cursed? It only exposed the Hook's true nature?
that's my action.
I think that Rumple is a master at manipulation and at planting seeds, and I think he did this. And what happened with Killian, he put that little seed in his mind, and it festered and it grew to the point where it was almost like a self-fulfilling
prophecy. Yeah.
But I do think he did something to the hand.
Do I believe that Killian, the reason why he punched Will in the face and got angry at the day was because he's dark and evil? No, of course not. He's not. That's not who he is. He was even shocked when he skewered Rumple with the hook, which, I mean, this man is his mortal enemy, and he was still shocked. So obviously, he's not a dark person. I think that he played on.
Just shocked. He was disgusted.
Rumple played on Killian's. Okay, Mish, you were saying that how you had always wanted the psychology of the hook. Well, girlfriend, you got it in spades, because obviously he, even though he's had it for 300 years, he's not comfortable with it. He feels less, much less. He played on Killian's insecurities, his desperation to be a whole man for Emma, his need for the date to be perfect. You know, he played on his self-loathing and how he feels that he's not a whole man, all of those things. And he used it against him in the worst possible way, which is why I want Rumple to die, because that is horrible.
Oh, yeah, but when the episode was over, I was like dying fire.
Yes, it was awesome. My whole life was like, die, Rumple, die.
You don't mess with my OTP. It's just not cool.
No, man, no. You don't mess with our babies, you know. And honestly, I was gonna say something and I forgot. Okay, something else. Killian Jones was disgusted at himself. He was really, truly disgusted.
Because like he said to Rumple at the beginning of the episode, unlike Rumple, he has changed.
Exactly. I mean, when they were at the Apprentice's house and Rumple upturned that hat and the guy was getting sucked in, you could see the look on his face. Killian was like, he was freaking out. He's like, oh my God. He was horrified. He's like, what the hell did I just get myself into? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. He obviously didn't want to be a part of any of this. But now he's stuck.
I know what I was going to say. The whole not thinking he's whole is so heartbreaking, because Emma didn't even realize that the hook was gone. And she didn't even realize when the hook was back. Like, because she loves him. She thinks he's a whole man. She doesn't need a hook or a hand to prove that.
But, well, for anybody saying that Emma was blowing him off or didn't seem to notice what was going on with him, or that he was blowing her off about her concerns about the Snow Queen, okay, look. They were trying, he didn't bring her out there to talk shop. He brought her out there to give her a good time, so they could have one nice moment, one nice night, have dinner, have a date, have a good time, and not have to worry about crisis shit. So, I
mean, seriously, if the Snow Queen had showed up right that second, he'd have been right there beside her, like blasting her with the magic and stuff.
I think it makes sense. It would say, let's not think about it in this moment. But I think it was also kind of out of character for him that you will say, I think you're wrong. I think your concerns and your intuition about this is wrong. Because he usually always believes her intuition, her power, her beliefs. It's kind of out of character. Which could be...
Like, I was like, wait, what?
Well,
He
it's
usually always believes her,
all
so
right.
we can
Look,
like chalk it up to the his concerns about the hand, or the deal with Rumple, or the fact that I don't know he was worried, and that's fine. But it is, I think, a fair point to say, well, normally he would have believed her, because him saying, "Oh no, you're wrong," it
But he
reminded me
didn't
of
say
when
that though.
it kind
He
of
just
said, "Oh, you
all
think
he
about."
said all he she said there was a puddle under my car, and he's like, well, that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, but he usually wouldn't need proof to believe her. He would believe her just because she said
it's not that he's
so.
trying to blow her off. I mean, we all knew going into season 4 that all of the stuff that was going to keep them apart, the crisis after crisis, Snow Queen, Elsa, all this stuff, it was going to start to get frustrating. You saw in the very first episode, he was trying to talk to her, and he's like, every moment of your life is a crisis. You got to take at least one to yourself. He's a little. You can't fault him for being a
And
little frustrated.
you also, I think we also have to take into account this is probably the first date he's been on in like 300 years, and he was probably really nervous.
And
So
Right.
also,
to do
I'm not saying he's like evil or whatever for not believing her. I'm just saying he was wrong. I mean, Emma was right and he was wrong. And it reminded me of when Emma was even having concerns about Henry's behavior because he was actually Pan, and everyone blew off her intuition. And
Mara,
Hook used to be the person who would believe her, puddle of no puddle, proof or no proof. So I'm not saying it's bad for her or like evil for not believing her this time, because I understand he had other stuff on his mind, like the hand or his concerns right now. But yeah, it's either out of character or just a writing mistake, or I don't know. It's one scene that didn't sit well with me. One line, let's say.
and let's not forget that right after that, she gets wine spilled on her by a hurrying through the restaurant Will Scarlet, and she starts to get up to go after him, and then she changes her mind and goes back because she was trying to take in Killian's advice that this is just one night, that they don't need that work stuff.
yes, honestly, I think, I do think that Serena's right that it was poorly worded, but it wasn't with bad intentions, you know?
Yes, that's what I think.
But that moment right there when she chose to let Will go
It was
and concentrate, that
beautiful.
was like the most defining moment of the whole day, because in the past, she would never have done that. She always let she didn't think that her life could have those moments, and she let her whole existence be ruled by being the savior and having to do her job and not have time for herself. But now she's finally seeing that, you know what, no, I'm going to take this and I'm going to have a good time, be with my boyfriend, and not worry about, not sweat all
I mean,
this small stuff.
even on the date with Walsh, she was doing work stuff. I mean, she was late because she was doing work stuff, and she had her phone out and was doing work stuff.
This is the first time you finally saw her be completely into just Killian. And for all those people out there that are saying that she was so OOC because the way she had her hair, or
No.
the fact that her dress was taken, like, look, just listen, okay? She was not OOC. This is Emma, but this is not the Emma that we remember from seasons 1, 2, and parts of 3. This is the Emma that's been hiding since she was a child, and has finally found the strength to come out from behind that wall and breathe
And
again.
speaking of the hairdo, I saw a theory. I think it was Rosenlight who wrote it. It has to do with Will Scarlet. Okay, so has nothing to do with Captain Swan, not really. But it talked about how Emma had her hair the way Anna uh, fixed her hair in Wonderland. For those of you who saw Wonderland, they were practically the same hairstyle. And Will looks at them and goes, okay. And she was wearing something that was very a blonde with the same hairstyle, like you can see him like do a double take. And what if the reason that Anna's not is that when the curse reset or whatever, he was taken back to Storybrooke or whatever, and that's why Anna's not there, because Anna's in Wonderland while he's stuck in Storybrooke.
The thing that I think that people aren't seeing is that Emma, even on her, I actually specifically looked up the screenshots of what she was wearing when she went on her date with Walsh, because I wanted to be sure that I wasn't missing it. When she wore that black dress and the sky-high heels, but she also wore Graham's lace on her wrist. And it was at a time when she didn't even remember why it was there, but she still wore it, because her walls and her armor was still up. In this date, there was no walls, no armor,
And he was wearing
no
black.
shoelace.
And he was wearing black in the dress with Walsh. And this was a lighter color, a prettier color, an open color. And she wasn't wearing any mementos. Not the necklace from Neil, not the shoelace from Graham.
Because this wasn't that Emma. This was the Emma that's been hidden for most of her her life. That Emma has finally found the courage to come back out, and she found that courage because of how she feels about him. And then at the end of the date, that scene when they were outside of the door and they held hands and kissed, I could see it plainly on her face. There is no more question of it. This woman has fallen deeply in love. Deeply. I mean, she didn't even realize her parents were in the room when she went back in.
No. I was like, damn it, Snow, you're going to scare the poor girl half to death.
And honestly, I just want to laugh because I remember the first time I went out with my ex, that was the scene I came back to, practically. Okay? And that conversation is a conversation I've had with my parents, where my mom is all, so did he kiss you? Did she do it? Did he do that? And my dad's like, no, I don't want to know that. Why are you asking that? No, I don't want to know that.
I can hear you guys.
Guys, that was so funny. I was like, girlfriend, you 3 separate times.
Three times she's like, I need my own place. And you know, if that had been her own place and her parents not been on the other side of that door, there would have been coffee.
There would have been coffee. There would have been pillaging and plundering as the day is long.
And grinding coffee.
Because seriously, did
And
you see him in those clothes?
This is 1 hour and this is the first time we mentioned sex. I think that's a record.
Oh my god.
I think Emma was exacting an extreme amount of self-control because she looked like she wanted to slam him up against the wall and be a pirate.
Have a wicked way with
his
him.
ass. Yeah.
I mean,
Ravishing
seriously.
senses.
Yeah. I mean, that was a kiss they had. That wasn't like, I mean, even the Neverland kiss, they weren't like that.
Yeah, like, and it had the same result that the Neverland kids had on Killian.
Yes.
Because it's now, holy fuck, I'm in love with this person.
Okay, we have another question from Killian Lover 27, and they ask, do you think Captain Swan will just be all angsty from now on, or do you think we will still get some
No.
cute moments with them here and there?
No.
They'll have their
There's gonna be
moments.
romance. I mean, seriously, this is the romance of the show. I mean, they're not going to give us, straight angst. You have to remind us why these two people are in love in the first place.
I mean, yeah, they'll have their moments. No couple is perfect. It's like Charming and Snow said, true love has to be fought for. So obviously they're going to go through some shit. But I mean,
hell, even Rumble gets adorableness. Come on. I don't even like
But-
Rumble.
But I mean, if ABC
Really?
Tumblr is
Even
anything to go by, they obviously are rooting for the Captain Swan sexy times as well.
Holy Jesus God! I'm like, are you hinting that when the second date happens that there's gonna be sexy times, ABC?
Michelle, that wasn't a hint. That was overt. That was like flashing neon sign going, sexy
That's
times,
like-
sexy times.
That's like Jen when Kelly asked her on Kelly and Michael if they were gonna do the do, and she's like,
I'm blushing.
yeah, I'm blushing, and we're working on it. We're
The
trying.
reaction that she had told me right there that at some point in this season it is going to happen.
Yeah,
So at some point.
sexy times will be had, and we will all die.
Yep.
Other question from Time Locked Gallifreyan. First of all, are you all alive and well after all these Captain One scenes? My question is about something that I noticed in Jen's acting throughout the episode during and after the date. I don't really know how to put it into words, but it seemed as if Emma sensed something was wrong with Killian, but decided to ignore it. I don't know if this is clear. Here are the parts I'm thinking of. Her face after Killian doesn't quite believe what she says about the Snow Queen following her. A puddle, what's that proof? Her scared, anxious expression when she closes the door, and just before Mama Charming asks her about the date. Am I misinterpreting this?
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think.
want to-
Okay, here's the thing. I think this is that the setup is almost exactly like the Jolly Roger, because when he leaves the loft at the end of the Jolly Roger, that's the first time Emma realizes that something's weird. And when he shows up with his hook and says that thing with Rumpelstiltskin and the magic not being what he thought it was, that's probably her first inkling that something is off. But it's not until she's gonna need more evidence because she's Emma, that she's gonna need like we got the Broody scene and Bleeding Through where she finally went, what is going on with you? And of course he didn't say anything because people were gonna die, and then she found that in the next one. So I think what's gonna happen, she didn't really start to even get an inkling that something was going on until the very very end. But then of course holy crap, the Snow Queen didn't come over in the curse, and her attention got distracted.
Yes, and honestly, that's why I think we'll get an inkling, like the bleeding through scene. Like maybe we'll get it in at the end of episode 5, and that's gonna be like the hangover for the episode.
Mm.
And then maybe we'll find out in episode 6, maybe.
Although,
But the scene when she walks back into the loft, that is straight up her going, holy shit, I am in love with this guy.
Yeah, that's not being there, and that's being like, holy shit, that was a good kiss.
Yeah,
although
for real.
at the sheriff's station when she was talking to Will, I did like fist pump, like double fist pump when he
Yes.
was all mad at her because you're gonna keep me in here because I broke into a library. I'm like, dude, you crashed her date. The fact that she was upset that he crashed her date, and she was flirting openly with Killian in front of her father and didn't even give 2 fucks. I was like, thank you.
Yes, and honestly,
Well, I
that
think
thing killed me.
I think
Okay.
it's interesting. Okay, can we go back to Will Scarlet for a second?
Yes, I was gonna say that right now.
I think it's interesting
Yes, I was
that
focusing-
right after Killian walks in, it's right after Emma's asked him how he got, that big old bruise on his face, and he sees that Killian's got the hook and not his hand, and there's this weird look on Will's face, and then he changes his mind. I think he was going to tell Emma what happened.
Yeah.
And then he changes his mind as soon as he sees that Killian's got his hook back. And remember, as somebody so astutely pointed out a couple, the other day, how Will keeps insisting he's a thief and always is going to be a thief and everything, that sounds suspiciously like Killian in The Year Without Emma when he kept insisting he was a pirate.
Right now,
Because
in
he's
the
without
year,
Anna.
yes, right now, that's what I was saying earlier. Right now, we're in the year without Anna. It's the same. Like, okay, You guys know I haven't been that big of a fan of Will coming on the show, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
not because I don't love Will, but because I love Anna, and I don't want anything to happen to her. I'm very protective of my queen. But this actually makes me kind of happy. And, well, no, because, come on, seriously, they've been through enough shit already in half a season that most people go in 3 seasons of Once Upon a Time. But I digress. But this is the year I really think that one of the curses was the reason that, well, Will got pulled away from Wonderland. Or, like, maybe he was in Storybrooke accidentally, like, picking something up, and he was going to go back to Wonderland, but he couldn't, or he was pulled away from Wonderland because he had a picture of the Red Queen in his jacket. Like,
Yeah.
and the
And
pain in his expression was the same pain that was in Killian's expression in the last year.
well, and that's what I'm saying, that I think that even though he and Will are a bit antagonistic at this point, that I think Will sort of noticed, that Killian is just a guy in love with his girl and is having like a bit of a rough patch, and so
That's
he's a bit
that's
sympathetic, so he chose not to out him to Emma.
that's what I put in the little meta that I wrote. I had a feeling that it seemed like he was going to say something at first, but when he looked at Killian, and this was after Emma showed him the picture of Anna. I don't know what the hell happened in Wonderland with her. Whatever it was obviously something bad. When he looked at Killian and he could see the distress in his face, I think he felt like, I get what this guy is going through. I don't
And
know his story,
honestly,
but I can obviously tell that he's, that he understands that something's wrong, and it would be shitty of me to shit on him like that when obviously something's wrong. So I'm
and
gonna
he's
help him
And
out.
honestly,
remember, this is a Will who has his heart. If this were Wonderland Will who didn't have his heart, then he wouldn't have hesitated to out Killian at that point. But this Will has his heart, so he, feels stuff
yes,
and can
yes,
actually feel
okay.
empathy
I
for
know
someone
people
else.
are actually like, oh, when is this? When is this? Is this previously to Will? And I know, guys. And I'm responding to me. I know because it was to me directly that Wonderland was in season 2 because the premiere of Wonderland is great.
Yeah,
I think we are going to see Anna. Because, I mean, come on. But it's gonna be in 3D.
yeah.
Because, I
4B.
mean, come on, Cinderella is coming back. And who is Cinderella, sister?
Anastasia Tremaine.
Anastasia.
Damn right. Okay, now it hasn't been confirmed, but it's practically confirmed, right?
It's likely.
I mean, come on, the mom was likely in talking about a sister who married a king and when it was supposed to be her. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's Anastasia. I mean, and I really want an Ella and Anna scene, okay? I really want that.
Mai, do you have any opinion on Charming this episode?
Hey, he was perfect. I'm
Oh, my
so
dear
confident.
Charming.
Like, oh come on. Like, do you want me to drive you? God, he's such a dad and he's so awesome. And somebody pointed it out, and I thought it was really beautiful. And this is the face he makes when he sees Emma's dress is is the whole my daughter's not a little girl anymore.
Yeah.
It was my daughter is in love with somebody else and it's not a little girl anymore. But I'm happy with it because he is happy. He tries to act a overprotective parent, but he's like, yes, that you have two of them. That's what worries me. It was
Oh, that's
perfect,
hilarious.
but hey, not as perfect as.
Honestly, the whole thing with him trying to do the overprotective daddy thing, I was like, dude, you're not even trying. We all know that this is just, yeah,
Your dream come
just
true.
stop.
Come on, but I'm
Although
sorry.
I did like the look on Killian's face as he and Emma were leaving.
Yes, he was like,
So charming.
He's
you
like,
said, yeah.
That
You said
that's
I
when
wasn't
we
gonna
get
get
him
her.
punched.
Okay, but even more perfect, and you guys probably know what it is. The Cristana reunion. Yay!
Oh, thank God.
Perfect. Like, guys, I had my worries that I didn't know if it was gonna be really them, but it was. And he was so perfect, and not as much as I missed you. Oh,
And Sven.
Sven. Sven is awesome. Sven
That was
deserves an
great.
Academy Award. And seriously, it was perfect. Perfect. And can we talk about Anna this episode? Like, damn, girl. What?
And
Why
here's a question about Anna and Rumpelstiltskin and that whole thing. Do we believe Rumpelstiltskin when he says that Elsa and Anna's parents were afraid of Elsa? Do we even think that they spoke to him?
I don't even believe that her
they-
parents were there. I thought they died at sea before they even got to the
That's what
Enchanted
I
Forest in the
thought.
first
But
place.
then again, yeah, that's what I've always thought. Now the only other way it could happen is if they were sailing back and they got
I
in
think
that
they were
storm.
sailing back because remember the mom says they have to know. It's the only thing that will save them. So they found out something.
Yeah, but I
Remember?
don't think they were afraid of her. I think Rumple
Oh
made
no,
that
I don't
part
think
up.
they were afraid of her. Honestly, I don't think so.
But
I
I do
think
think that they were trying to find a way for Elsa to master her powers. That's
See, to
the
master
reason.
her powers, but not to take them away.
yeah.
Rumple insisted they were trying to take them away from her, and I don't think they were doing that at all. If they were, then they're even shittier parents than I thought they were.
Yeah, I don't think they were. I think they were trying to help. But because I do think that they made it to the Enchanted Forest because of the whole message in the bottle thing. And I'm really curious about what's in that bottle. I know it's we'll
Yeah, where
probably
is
see.
that bottle?
Like seriously, where is that bottle? I would not be surprised if someone like Rumple has it.
You know what would be funny? If it was to see if Killian found it,
Ooh, yes.
but I don't think so.
Maybe Blackbird found it. We
Oh
know it's
God.
gonna be in an episode.
Maybe Davy Jones found it.
Can we stop with the effing Davy Jones?
I
Sorry.
so do not want to go there with the Pirates of the Caribbean shit. Just
I hate
no.
that theory so much. It
No.
needs to die in a fire.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Did we talk about everything in this episode?
I think I'm missing something. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yes. Anna didn't
What?
mention Kristoff.
Yeah, you mentioned Kristoff.
No,
Yeah.
Anna in the episode didn't mention Kristoff. When she's
All right.
when she's saying you cannot hurt me or my sister, she
Oh
clearly
shit!
doesn't mention.
I
we
thought
say-
of that when I was watching the episode the second time. I was like, oh, she forgot Kristoff.
And I don't think. I mean, and she wouldn't. I mean, if it wasn't important, they wouldn't have called out. They wouldn't have made it
Okay.
so obvious that she didn't mention Kristoff. So I think, and the reason, like, that Anna's missing is that Rumble went to get his revenge, but went since the only one he can hurt is Kristoff because he wasn't in the rules.
Can
And, he's all
actually
about the loopholes.
but I have to point out that the whole dagger thing with Anna is a total retcon because the rules so far have been that the Dark One has to follow what the person holding the dagger says only as long as they are holding the dagger. Once the dagger is once again in his possession, he can do whatever he wants. Like he doesn't right now. He doesn't after he took the dagger back from Zelina, for example, he didn't have to still follow what she told him.
Yes. But I
It
still think he's
doesn't.
gonna hurt Kristoff.
Well, the fact that he returned her to Arendelle with Kristoff reinforces my headcanon that whatever became of the two of them, in reference to Elsa, has more to do with the Snow Queen than with
Yeah.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah.
I think she's the one that's responsible ultimately for whatever happened to them.
Yes,
She's
but
obviously the one that was responsible for taking Elsa to the rock trolls to have her memories altered, and probably also for having Emma's memories altered so she wouldn't remember having ever met her.
well, here's the thing. I think the Snow Queen probably didn't act alone. So I do think
Well,
that
no.
Rumpel is involved.
Bobby said that he and the Snow Queen have history.
Yeah, so I think that he and the Snow Queen were involved in whatever happened to Kristoff and Anna.
Yeah.
And I think that it was basically that either Kristoff was in trouble and Anna went to save him and got stuck there too inside of a box. And then the Snow Queen probably spit out some lies to Elsa about it.
Yeah. And then when Elsa wouldn't do what she said, imprisoned her in the urn.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, because I think we're gonna see Elsa, like, be like, you know what? No, I know my sister. I mean, Elsa in the past. I know my sister, she will never do that. And I know Kristoff, he's my friend. Because there's a reason we got so many good, like, friendly Kristoff and Elsa scenes. To establish that they are friends.
And that's the thing with the Snow Queen. I think the Snow Queen's just as much of a manipulator as Rumple is, and she keeps trying to sow seeds of distrust between Elsa and the people around her by saying, you know, everyone fears magic and blah blah blah.
Exactly. Although there is a certain amount of, I don't know, stinkiness with some of the things that Rumple was trying to do. For instance, the tape. I don't even know if I can believe that tape is what he says it is, solely for the fact that we're talking about a magical apprentice to a magical wizard, and this apprentice has been alive for hundreds of years. What the fuck would he need with a VHS security system?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, that cottage was like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
I mean, it was on the edge of town or something, and he's just like some schmo living in a house. Why would he even have security on his house anyway?
especially when he thinks he's safe.
Something about
I think you know what I think? I think that's a blank tape, and he was just fucking with Killian because he can. Just like when he told Killian that he had given Belle the dagger back when he so hadn't.
No.
Because he needed to push Killian into a corner to get him to agree to what he wanted to do, which was to screw with him.
The whole thing just seemed
the whole thing is
amounts of fishiness. I mean, it was completely fishy.
Because Rumple is a gigantic asshole.
But before we end this conversation about this episode, I must talk about the highlights of the entire episode. I mean, yes, we all gushing about the date, but the highlight of the episode for me was Killian and the dartboard.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I laughed my ass off. Oh my god.
He was just like, what?
First dart, bullseye. Second dart, do you want to go out? Clink, clink, clink.
What?
Although he didn't even hit the dartboard. He didn't even hit the wall. He like banged the wall and it fell on the floor.
Yeah, although I have to admit, I appreciate his little bow when he accepted. That was adorable.
Yes. And what? Isn't that supposed to be my job?
Yeah, he just said, "Isn't that my line?"
I should have known you would be old-fashioned. What are you?
300.
It's like, well, Neverland and Curses did
give me experience.
But
I thought
but
the
I
way
still
Jennifer
he said I still retain
Retain
my
my youthful glow.
youthful glow.
I thought the way Jennifer chose to read her lines in this scene was really fun because it just said all her lines really nervous and really fast, like with almost no inflection, like she needed to say it quickly before she lost her nerve. And
Yes.
it was very different from the way Emma usually talks. Like even when she made that joke about him being 300, it was not with her usual delivery of sarcastic Emma lines.
Oh, it
But
was nervous Emma, and it was glorious.
Yes.
okay, so do you guys have anything else to add, or can we conclude this podcast?
I think we're done. I think so.
Die in a fire, Rumple. Die in a
Rum-
fire.
Rumple is a douche.
Okay, I think you deserve an applause because I have the app already open. And we are done. Thank you everyone for listening.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be back next week when we'll probably be mad at Regina after that episode, or the writers, or both. Come back to find out who we will be mad at next week.
Ding ding dong.
Bye.
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 Bye.